Hello.
Hey, Heidi, how's it going?
Fine. How are you?
Good, thanks. I think Heidi, this is your first time in my class.
Yes. Um, Today I will leave to work later. So I'm lucky to have this chance to attend your class.
Ah, fantastic. Where are you from, Heidi?
I'm from Jordan, Middle
Jordan.
East.
Fantastic. المملكة الهاشمية الأردنية.
Naam. Yes.
Naam. Yeah, that's all I know. I know very little Arabic, but it's I know some of the countries. So great, Heidi. Welcome, welcome. My name's Farhan. I'm 24. I've been teaching on Colingo for about 3 months, and I'm glad to have you in my class. Absolutely.
I'm happy to attend also this class.
Fantastic. How long have you been studying English, Adi? Seems like you are very fluent already.
I have started with the Berlitz Center before,
Uh-huh.
and I'm already working with a company that have international customers
Uh-huh.
in the United States and other countries, and I have most of our written is or all of our what we write in English, and we hold some meetings with customers also in English.
Uh-huh.
But
Fantastic. So
I gained the accent from Berlitz Center.
that is awesome. Yeah, I've heard good things about Berlitz before. They do a good job, I think. There are a lot of great programs out there, and I think one of the good things about Colingo is you guys bring all those experiences here, and you guys are sharing and learning from each other. So especially when we have the conversation, it really helps to have that experience. So. Uh,
Yeah, I hope.
Yeah, welcome, Id. Absolutely. Um, Salvador, how's it going, man? How's life?
Hi, hi. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Everything's normal?
Yeah, everything is normal.
Nothing's crazy, right? That's a good thing.
No, everything is okay.
Sometimes we have crazy days. I had a crazy day yesterday, guys. I was at the gym last night at 10:30. Okay, I had no idea that this many people show up at the gym at 10:30. I thought I would go there and I would be the only person there, maybe one or two other people. The entire place was packed.
Really?
Yeah, and I was so surprised. I'm traveling now, so I'm in California, ID. I don't live in California, but this it was so surprising for me that folks here are just they don't go to sleep. I mean, Tuesday it was a Tuesday night, 10:30. I mean, people have work the next day, but no, these people were exercising, lifting weights, and I mean, I'm on vacation. They were just they live here and they were just going crazy. So very surprising for me to see how active people are in this part of the country.
Uh,
Um, yeah, and I woke up early and I had a busy day, but it was a great day, great weather here, beautiful weather. So
mhm.
yeah, it's a nice day. Adi, what part of Jordan do you live in? The capital? Do you live in Amman?
No, in Zarqa.
Dharqa. I don't know where that is actually. Is
Zarqa,
it?
the blue city. It
Okay.
means from
Isn't
Azraq,
it
blue.
Azaraq? Yeah, Zarqa. Okay. Is it from the? Is it in the south of the country? The east? The
North. It's about 20 kilometers from Amman.
20 kilometers from Amman. Okay, so fairly close though. Fairly close. That's awesome. There's a lot I wish I knew about Jordan. I don't know as much as I should know. I know more about Saudi Arabia and Iraq than I do about Jordan, unfortunately. And Syria, I know very little about Syria also, out of those big countries in that area. But
Mhm.
yeah, so it's awesome. And so, guys, today we're going to be waiting a little bit, maybe if somebody else joins the class, but the focus is going to be we're going to be looking at the future construction, right? And because we have an interesting topic, we actually have a topic that is I like this topic because we are going to be using the future tense to discuss two world leaders, Vladimir Putin from Russia and Barack Obama from the United States. They have had a little bit of a rivalry, if you will, within the last few years. They're both very powerful men, and some people are debating who is more powerful, who is number one, the most powerful man in the world, right? I don't know if it actually matters, if that designation actually matters, right? who cares, you know, who the most powerful man in the world is, but it's an interesting article, so we'll take a look at that. Before that, however, we will focus on the future tense in English, right? How do we talk about the future in English? And there are three main constructions. So we use the will construction, we use the going to construction, and we also use the present continuous. These are the three main areas. So we'll be looking at, one sec, we'll be looking at the will, going to, and then present continuous, right? So these are the three main, sorry, I wrote two times. Present continuous. Okay, so we will be taking a look at these three types, right? So to get started, Salvador, I have a question for you first. Salvador, what will you do tomorrow?
I will take more classes here at Colingo.
I will take more Colingo classes, or I will take more classes here on Colingo tomorrow, right? Fantastic. Heidi, what about you? What will you do tomorrow?
I will visit my father's farm.
Visit your father's farm. Is Friday a holiday in
Yes.
Jordan? It is.
It is, yes.
Fantastic. So you'll be able to enjoy your weekend, right?
Yes.
That's awesome.
It's not enjoy. We have the harvest of olive.
Oh, olive harvest tomorrow.
Yes.
That's amazing. I didn't know they grew zaytun in Jordan.
We have a lot of olive in Jordan.
That's great. I was in Turkey a few years ago, and they have a lot of olives in Turkey. I thought Jordan was maybe a little bit too hot for olives, but I guess not.
No, it's not. We have it's popular products from Jordan.
Wow, that's awesome. I had no idea. That's fantastic. So olive harvesting tomorrow. That's great. Hey, Maud, welcome to class. How's it going?
Hi. It was good.
Great.
Yeah.
Nice. How is Eka doing?
He's working.
Oh, so he's busy today.
Yeah.
So, Maud, welcome to class. I just wanted to ask you, so we are going to be looking at the future tense today, the future construction, right? And in making the future construction, I'm asking everyone a question. What will you do tomorrow? So, Maud, what will you do tomorrow?
I will go to work.
You'll go to work tomorrow. So, are you guys both going to work, you and Eka, or is it just you going to work tomorrow?
Yeah, Egg and I will go to work tomorrow.
Both of you guys will go to work, so it's going to be busy. Yeah, tomorrow is what? Tomorrow's Thursday, right? Well, actually, it's already Thursday in Bangkok, so tomorrow's Friday for you guys, right? And Friday will still be a work day. Okay, interesting. So, awesome, guys. You guys used the future tense properly, right? So I will go somewhere. I will do something, right? I'm going to. So really, when we look at the future tense, these three constructions, these three forms, right? The idea is pretty simple. When we use the will construction, right, we say the subject plus will and then a verb. Simple as that, right? I will go to school. I will learn English. I will go to work, right? So that's the first type of construction. When we use the going to construction, guys, it's a little bit different. We use the verb to be. We use are or am or is, are or am or is, right? When we are talking about the future, using the going to. So we can say the subject, then we have am or are or is, right? Depending on the subject. Then we have going to, and then we have a verb, right? So Aidi is going to go to his father's farm to harvest olives tomorrow, right? So subject Aidi is going to, and then the verb is go, right? Go to his father's farm. So that's how we use the going to construction, right? And then the last but not least, right, with the present continuous, the important thing about the present continuous, and really about all of these types of future constructions, is when you use the present continuous, you have to use a time expression. You have to talk about when this action will take place, right? So if I say, what's the format? So the format is actually very similar to the going to construction, right? With the present continuous, it's the subject plus a verb plus am, are, is plus a verb that ends in ing plus another verb, whatever verb, right? So for example, I'm sorry guys, there's no last verb, I made a mistake there. Subject plus am, are, is plus a verb that ends in ing. Okay? So, for example, and then after the verb that ends in ing, also a time phrase, right? So this is the last example. This is the present continuous example. Subject plus am, are, is plus a verb that ends in ing plus a time phrase. So let me give you guys an example. Maud is working on Friday, right? Maud is working on Friday. So Maud is a subject, is, and then the working is the verb that ends in ing. The time expression is on Friday, right? Anything like that. He is learning English on Thursdays, or on Thursday night, whatever the case might be, right? And if we think about it, the going to construction is a special form of the present continuous, right? Because in that example, the verb is go, right? So he is going to, it's the verb plus the ing, go plus the ing, right? So really, we only have two forms. We have the will construction, and you have the present continuous. And among the present continuous, you have the going to, or you can have any other verb that ends in ing, right? So these three constructions are the main constructions in English. Any questions, guys, about these three constructions?
No.
Makes sense, Heidi?
Yes.
Maud and Salvador? Salvador, I think it makes sense for you as well, right?
That's right.
It does.
Okay.
Awesome. And Maud, last but not least?
Okay, no questions.
No questions? Fantastic. So let's ask you guys. I'm going to ask you guys to make me a sentence, right? And this time, since will is easy, I'm going to ask you guys to make me a sentence using the present continuous construction, right? So that was the subject plus am, are, is plus a verb that ends in ing plus a time expression or a time phrase, right? So let me get started. I'll give you guys an example. For example, I can say Barack Obama is traveling to Singapore on Saturday, right? Barack Obama is traveling to Singapore on Saturday, right? ID, can you give us an example?
Okay. We are harvesting olives tomorrow.
Fantastic. We are harvesting olives tomorrow, right? Fantastic. Maud, what about one from you, please?
I am swimming this evening.
Fantastic. I am swimming this evening, right? You're indicating something that you'll do in the future. Perfect. Salvador, last but not least.
Melissa is learning English every day.
Melissa is learning English every day, right? Melissa is learning English every day. Good, good. That one can also be, perhaps can be used as a present continuous, also maybe Salvador. But the fact that you say every day helps it because then you know it's happening continuously. It's something that is happening into the future also, right? So good job with that, guys. Let's see, we're actually making really good time. Only 20 minutes into the class, and we're done with the grammar already. We're going to have a long time for discussion. Any questions, guys, about anything we looked at here with the grammar?
No.
Make sense? Okay. I think you guys understand this very well. So let's take a look then, guys. We'll transition to the article, right? Now, when we read this article, guys, I want you guys to really focus on understanding the article, okay? If you see a word that you don't understand, tell me. Okay, stop me. Hey, Farhan, stop talking. We need to learn about this article. Or we need to we need to understand this word, okay? So anytime you have a question on the article, let me know. I will also stop after every 2 or 3 paragraphs to ask you guys if you guys understood, right? So let's take a look at this article for a second. And once again, we're talking about two of the most powerful people in the world, Vladimir Putin and Barack Obama. And there is a rivalry, there is a fight going on between these two guys as to perhaps who is the strongest person in the world, right? So here's the article, guys. And let me also screen share so we can get to it real quick. We'll get started very soon. Oops, can't find my button. All right. So, Russian President Vladimir Putin topples Barack Obama on Forbes magazine's list of powerful people. Guys, what does this word topple mean? It's a verb. What does it mean? What do you guys think?
Without shirt.
Yeah, a topple is somebody who topples down, like isn't sitting down or fell down from a chair or something like that, right? But in this example, Salvador, what do you think it means? Do you think it means something like defeats or beats somebody at something?
Could be.
Yeah, yeah, it's something.
He has taken the place of Barack.
Exactly, exactly. He has, right? So he's somebody who topples, in this case, he has taken the place of Barack Obama, right? So let's read this now. Russian President Vladimir Putin has unseated, right? Has taken the seat of Barack Obama as the world's most powerful person, according to Forbes magazine. It is the first time in 3 years that the U.S. president has not come in at #1 on the annual list and came as U.S.-Russia relations slid to a new low, right? So, guys, any questions about these two paragraphs?
Slide to a new low.
Yeah, and came as U.S.-Russia relations slid to a new low, right?
Slid.
What do you think that means, Heidi? If something slides to a new low or slid to a new slid is simply the past of slide.
Yes.
Yeah. So if it slid to a new low, what does that mean?
Go down.
Not sure.
Okay, so we can say, for example, if something slides to a new low, Salvador or Maud, do you guys know maybe?
I could be something like going to the minimum or something.
Yeah, you're on the right. You're absolutely on the right track, Salvador. What about Maud? What do you think?
He takes down. He goes down to the new position that's lower than the past position, the past level.
Absolutely. You guys are both correct. Salvador and Maud, you guys are all correct, right? So it comes as U.S.-Russia relations. The U.S. right now has a horrible relationship with Russia. Okay, it's not very good. So this moment in history, the relations are at the lowest they've been in a very long time. So it's a new low for these two countries, right? When it comes to the relations. So Forbes magazine says the Russian leader has solidified power after 13 years of dominant rule, right? He has led this country for 13 years, right? While Mr. Obama is more of a lame duck, okay? Recently plagued by domestic issues in his second and final term as U.S. president, right? So the Russian leader has solidified power, but Obama is more of a lame duck, right? Look at this picture, guys. You know, I mean, this guy doesn't care, man. He's got his macho man sunglasses. He's got this, you know. He seems like he's invincible, right? Nobody can defeat this guy. That's his image, right? He doesn't care really about a lot of things. ID, would you mind muting your microphone if you don't mind, ID? Because there's some sound in the back. It's a little difficult to hear.
I'm sorry. Okay, I did.
Okay, thank you so much, ID. I appreciate that. So we're reading about this. So this is Vladimir Putin's image, right? He has this, you know, macho man image. China's new president, on the other hand, Xi Jinping, follows behind in 3rd place. So So number 3 is Xi Jinping, and Pope Francis, who is the leader of the world's Catholics, is a newcomer, and he is number 4. Right? So you look at the ranking. Vladimir Putin, then you have Mr. Obama, and then you have Mr. Jinping, and then you have Pope Francis, right? German Chancellor Angela Merkel rounds out top 5 and is one of just 9 women on the list of 72 most powerful people. So the German Chancellor is number 5. The Australian-born News Corporation chief Rupert Murdoch, along with the rest of his family, have come in at number 33. So Rupert Murdoch, do you guys know who this guy Murdoch is by any chance? He's a very interesting guy.
No.
Yes.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, ID. Who's Murdoch?
I think he is a press or a news. I think imperator or something in UK. He had a problem with the UK. I think I read about it before.
Something about the BBC, right?
Yes, I think yes.
I think similar to that. Yeah, I remember that hearing that. It's he's a multi-billionaire news personality, right? I think he owns a lot of the newspapers and a lot of the TV news channels in the world. So he has a big control over the media, right? So that's why he comes in at number 33. The list ranks how many people each candidate powers over and the financial resources they control, right? So Forbes magazine noted that the recent diplomatic events helped Mr. Putin pip his American counterpart to the title of the world's most powerful leader. So pip, guys, once again, is another way of saying unseated or toppled, right? They're using all these different verbs. So Mr. Putin was able to defeat Barack Obama to the title, right? And we see, it's a pretty powerful list, guys. I mean, the top 10, you have Vladimir Putin, Barack Obama, Xi Jinping, Pope Francis, Angela Merkel. Number 6 is Bill Gates, okay? Number 7 is the chairman of the U.S. Federal Reserve, the federal bank, Ben Bernanke. Then number 8 is the Saudi king, Abdullah bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. Number 9 is the European Central Bank president, Mario Draghi. I have no idea who this guy is. I've never heard of this guy, right? Number 10 is the CEO of Walmart, the world's largest company, Michael Duke, right? And this is an American company. So this list kind of surprises me, right? A lot of these people are actually presidents or leaders of countries, and there's only one woman. Angela Merkel is the only woman in number 5 in the top 10, right? Everybody else is a male. So let's read here, guys. In August, Russia granted asylum to former National Security Agency contractor Edward Snowden, wanted in the U.S. over a mammoth intelligence leak. What is mammoth, guys? Have you guys heard about that word? Go ahead.
It's an ancestor for elephants.
Yeah, mammoths were ancestors of elephants. Exactly. Perfect, right? But what does it mean when it's an adjective? Something like
Old.
this.
Old.
Not old. Salvador, what do you think?
Something big, giant.
Yeah, something super big, guys, right? Because Ida, you're right. These guys were the ancestors of elephants, and they were very large animals, right? So when we say something is a mammoth, sometimes we say it's a mammoth task. It's a mammoth project. It's a huge project. Yeah, it's going to take a lot of resources, a lot of time. So one of the first things Russia did was they gave asylum to Edward Snowden, right?
But I have a question. That is an idiom.
Actually, Salvador, it's not an idiom. It's actually just an adjective that we use normally for something. If we want to say something is a mammoth task or a mammoth problem, then we can use it as an adjective.
But is it a common use?
That is how we can use it. Yeah. It's not bad to use it. It's not informal or anything like that. People use it in normal conversation. Instead of saying giant, you can say mammoth as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first thing Russia did was they gave asylum to Edward Snowden, right? A month later, Mr. Putin played the trump card again by averting Mr. Obama's threatened missile strikes on Syria with a plan for Damascus to hand over chemical weapons, right? So they're saying, this article is saying Mr. Putin did two big things. First, he gave asylum to Edward Snowden, who is an enemy right now. The United States wants him, right? Number two, he was able to help the president of Syria, Mr. al-Assad. He was able to help him come up with a plan over the chemical weapons. And as a result, Obama was threatening, we will attack Syria, we will attack Syria. Obama was stopped from attacking Syria. So these are both considered wins for Putin and defeats for Obama, right? And let's see, anyone watching this year's chess match over Syria and NSA leaks has a clear idea of the shifting individual power dynamics, right? Any questions about this, guys? I think this is a very important line. Anyone watching this year's chess match over Syria and NSA leaks has a clear idea of the shifting individual power dynamics.
What is NSA leaks?
Great question. The NSA, guys, is the National Security Agency. I think that's the name. NSA is the spy agency for the United States, right? This is the group that is listening to this conversation right now. Okay, this is the group that is always on FBI. They are listening to the CIA. They know everything. They know everything, and they're spying on everybody, right? So after a lot of this information came out that NSA is spying on the Brazilian president, spying on number 5 here, Angela Merkel, the German leader, NSA was spying on her, reading her personal emails. I mean, this is a major problem, right? Germany is a friend of the United States. Why is the NSA reading her personal emails, right? It's ridiculous. So after all of this embarrassment, right, and the fact that Syria was not attacked, Russia saved Syria, Obama looked bad to the entire world, right? All of these things, according to Forbes, make Putin more powerful, right? So it shifted the individual power dynamics, right? The individual people, these two guys, Putin and Obama, their power dynamics have changed because of these issues, right? And so just interestingly, guys, among 13 newcomers, 13 people who were, for the first time, they are on the list of the Forbes 100 most powerful people. Samsung's chairman, Lee Kun-hee, is number 41, and Nigerian billionaire Aliko Dangote, the richest man in Africa, is at number 64. So these folks are here for the first time. There were 17 heads of state who run nations with a combined GDP of $48 trillion and 27 CEOs and chairs who control over $3 trillion in annual revenues. So extremely powerful people. I mean, countries with $48 trillion of combined gross domestic product, GDP. You know, enormous amount of money. And companies, you know, the largest companies in the world, 27 CEOs, $3 trillion of money, right? $3 trillion. I mean, that's a huge amount. Combined, $51 trillion. It's unimaginable, right? Maybe the world only has, I don't know how much money the world has, but probably a lot less, right? I think it's an interesting situation, guys. So, what do you guys think about this? I mean, we see these shifting power dynamics, right? We see that they are, you know, Putin is now number 1, Obama is number 2. Do you guys think this is will things change for Obama or Putin? Do you think Putin will remain number 1 in next year also? Heidi, what do you think?
I have an idea that the United States president is not the powerful person in the United States, the most powerful person. I think there's a lot of factors that affect, or a lot of powers that control the policies, the political situations of the United States. Not only the president who's control these, such as the Congress and the powerful men uh, that have a lot of such as loobies and money persons.
Mm-hmm.
So I have this idea, but anyway, regard for the list, I'm not sure.
Uh-huh.
As you can see from the article, it depends on the events rather than the persons.
I think so, absolutely right. It depends what they do. Maybe things change in the world and these people do certain things and they become number one, right? Or become number two, whatever the case might be. And we don't know, Obama, he doesn't need to really, he cannot become president again, right? He did his 2 terms. He is writing his legacy. I mean, he needs to figure out, okay, what will people remember me for? Right? Will people remember me as an amazingly new face in the world, or will they remember me for something different? So I think he's struggling with that, right? Um, but we'll see. Maybe next year he will be number one again, right? No idea. Maud, what do you think about the article about the ranking and all this information?
Okay, I'm curious that what condition Forbes gets the ranking for them.
Yeah, they didn't describe that process or how they designed this ranking, right? I don't know, honestly, because if it was money related, I think it would be a bank person that would be number one, or maybe because leaders don't really have that much money, right? They don't really control that much money. The banks control a lot of money, and they are now number one. So I don't know how they did this. But do you think, Ahmad, that this will change? Maybe next year, will things change between the most powerful person?
Yes, I think it can change every year when the United States, change the president
Mm-hmm.
or something else that the political issues change.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely right. Situations on the ground, I think, or situations on the ground change a lot of different things. So you're agreeing with Heidi then, I think, Maud, right? The idea that,
Yeah.
yeah, it's the situation and not the people necessarily. Salvador, what do you think? Is this surprising to you? Is this useless? These kind of rankings? What are they doing?
Well, I don't know how Forbes um, does that kind of ranking, but I don't I don't think Barack Obama is too worried about it. If he's number two or number one,
Uh-huh.
just to be honest, I think maybe with the with the Syria situation, maybe USA don't attack because don't want to do it. But also we have to keep in mind that United States is the biggest uh, potential
Has
potential
the
in the
has the biggest potential,
potential
Salvador?
in the world,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and for me it can be a little surprising, but don't have more importance.
Yeah, but Russia is very powerful too, right, Salvador, wouldn't you say?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, Russia has a lot of power still. Maybe not as much as when there was the Cold War, but still they can, if they want to cause problems, they can cause problems. Or
No, no,
they,
that's definitely true, but
uh-huh.
USA will the ally. I don't know if I'm saying right, but it is a huge country with a lot of power, and maybe people are getting interested in some kind of ranking if anybody knows how Forbes does that kind of ranking.
Yeah, I think I would love to ask Forbes, hey, how did you guys do this ranking? What is the idea? Like, because, for example, I don't agree with number 8. Personally, number 8, the King of Saudi Arabia, I don't think he's top 10. He's maybe number 25 or something. You know, I mean, there are more people that are powerful than him. And the Walmart CEO, number 10, I don't think he's. I mean, he's the head of a company, a very large company, but Walmart has a ton of problems. Anybody who
Yeah.
knows anything about the U.S., Walmart is not a respected company in this country. I mean, they have a lot of problems with the way they hire people, the way they treat their workers, they're destroying a lot of businesses, you know. I mean, it's not really, maybe because of the money that he controls, he's number one, but or number 10, but it's difficult, right? Adi, what do you think? I think you said yes to this. Something?
I said that about yeah, the king of Saudi Arabia. I don't think he's powerful. Yeah, he controls a lot of money, and his family. I think I hear before that they gain 70% of the income of Saudi Arabia. He and his family.
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy situation, right? You see, they named the country after their family.
Yeah,
And they are now. I mean, you know, I think money is money in Saudi Arabia. You know, it's a very wealthy country, so I guess the wealth is empowering them to have this status, right? Or is giving them the right to have this status. What do you guys think about Pope Francis, number 4? He's a newcomer. You know, he's somebody who this is the first time that they did this ranking while he was Pope. Will he stay a very powerful person, do you guys think? The Pope, you know, Salvador, what do you think?
And yes, I think that is, well, as I say, all depends what is the facts for be a powerful man. Because if we are talking about faith, the Pope is one of the most powerful on earth. But if we are talking about money, is the power is, is money, and maybe have to be someone else like Warren Buffett or Bill Gates. And we are talking about military power, maybe USA or Vladimir Putin is in the top of the list. So all depends
Hmm.
what I'm considering a power source.
Yeah, but I think one of the things that makes Pope Francis really interesting is he seems to be a very people-friendly Pope, right? He seems to be very humble in his behavior, and I think people are very hopeful. People, you know, like Pope John Paul II was also he was a people's pope, I think, you know. With Pope Benedict, I think the situation was a little bit more. I think he made some enemies during his time, but Pope John Paul II was very well respected, and I think Francis is also very well respected in terms of he works for the poor. You know, I think he's not so much a leader of a country or he doesn't see himself as being a person with a lot of power. I think he's a very humble person. So
How do you say the word?
how do I know about that?
No, no. How do you? Can you repeat the word that you have used?
Oh, the word humble, right? Humble. He seems like a very humble person. A
Humble,
very
humilde.
humildad, tiene humildad. Yeah,
Okay,
so
got it.
he has humility, right? He's a very humble person. So it's interesting. I think maybe that's why he's powerful. He has influence, right? Maud, yeah. So what do you know about the Pope, Maud? The Pope is the leader of the Catholic Church, actually, Maud. So 1.2 billion Catholics. He's their leader.
Ah, okay. And I think he's not powerful for me because I'm not a Catholic and I
Mhm.
don't know about it.
Yeah, absolutely. It depends on the perspective, right? I mean,
Uh-huh.
for 1.2 billion Catholics, there are approximately 1.2 billion Muslims in the world also. But Muslims don't have a leader, a unified leader. So that's why maybe they don't have maybe the Pope because the Catholics are the most organized, humongous religion. They're a mammoth religion, right? And they are organized. They have their pope, they have the cardinals, they have the priests, they have everybody is very organized, so they can claim something like that easily, more easily than let's say Buddhists or Hindus or Muslims, because we don't have or at least Muslims don't have a structured, the leader of the Muslims, for example, something like that. So, but Maud, what do you think? You're the only woman in the class, so I'm going to pick on you a little bit. I apologize in advance. Is it fair that there is only one lady on this list? Can you think of any other powerful ladies that should be in the top 10, maybe?
I I don't think it's not it's okay for me to have only one woman in the top 10 rank, because I know that the leaders, many leaders are men, and yeah, I think it's acceptable for me.
Do you think, Maud, things will change next year, or 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Are we going to see more women maybe in the top 10? What do you think?
Yeah, it's probably happen
Uh-huh.
in next 10 years, because I think in the past women is responsible for families and children, and nowadays women go out to work more and yeah, get more duty, position, responsibilities. But for men, it's like you have to work. I don't see any men stay at home and raise children at home. Yeah, and I think it's normal to see in the top 10 and get 9 of 10 are men. But in the future, yes, I think more women in the top 10 ranking.
That's a great, Maud, because there is the word on the street. That's a very American way of saying that there is some idea. The word on the street. I was talking to some of my friends in Washington, D.C., some of my friends in NSA, FBI, CIA, right? Because I'm so well connected, right? The word on the street is that Hillary Clinton may run for president. So,
Yeah.
2016, 3 years from now, roughly, we may have a female president running for office, and she can win. I think she can win. She has enormous amount of experience, crazy amount of experience, and she's respected. She's respected in this country, so we may be able to change things around and have her. Maybe she will be one of the first, leaders, one of the most powerful women in the next 10 years, I think. Angela Merkel, I don't know too much about, honestly. So number 5, she's the most powerful leader of a European country. Brazil's president is a woman, Dilma Rousseff. This is Brazil's president, is a woman also. And she maybe is number 11. I would imagine she's top 20, because Brazil is a huge country. It's interesting from that perspective. Guys, I was also thinking of asking you guys of, should we believe in these kind of lists, guys? Forbes makes this list, right? Maybe another magazine like The Economist, Time Magazine, CNN, whatever, they all do their own list of the world's most powerful people. Is it really that important at the end of the day, guys? Does it really matter who is the most important? I mean, honestly, guys, let's be honest, right? Does it really matter? Heidi, what do you think about that?
For me, I don't care about them. Maybe sometimes I feel that they bought some persons for to make him happy, or sometimes the politic come here.
Yeah, political reasons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, is that fair? Should we say why are there so many politicians? Why can't we honor more people like Bill Gates or Warren Buffett or these people? What I mean, is it because we live in a world that is crazy about politics? Id, what do you think?
No, I think the Forbes or other magazines could put these guys for not for the real power of them, but for other reasons. For example, um, political pressure or something like this.
Uh-huh. So the
But
political pressure may be the reason. Uh-huh.
yeah, but anyway, I don't care who is the most powerful.
Uh-huh.
To be
Honestly, I
honest,
don't care
I don't
either,
care
Adi.
about. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, does it really matter? I mean, like in my life, I'm the most powerful. That's all that matters, right?
Yes.
I'm just joking. No, it's not that bad for me. I'm not that crazy about myself. But we do have these situations, right? Maud, do you think these matter? These lists? Why do people care? I mean, Forbes writes one, another newspaper writes another one. Does it really matter?
It doesn't matter for me, but I think it might be important for the politicians or for leaders, for them that will get powerful and like to oh, I forgot this word.
I think maybe Maud, one of the words that'll help you. I was thinking of this one is gives them bragging rights. Gives them bragging rights. Something we say a lot in English, actually. Was this so?
What
Do
is
you mind,
that?
do you mind if I explain? Okay, sure. So bragging rights. If I brag, if somebody who brags says, "Hey Salvador, I'm more powerful than you, man," you know, like I'm bragging.
Oh,
I'm bragging, right? I'm being arrogant. I'm not being, oh, Salvador, we're both top 10. It's okay, we're both powerful. No, I'm saying, Salvador, I beat you, man, right? I'm better than you, man, right? I'm number 1, you're number 5, man. Take that. You're 4 below me, you know? So that bragging, right? Like you're being arrogant. I'm better than somebody else. Like Vladimir Putin can call Barack, but yo, Barack, I'm number 1, man. What are you? You're number 2, you know? So it's that bragging right, like being arrogant. Politicians love that stuff, right? It makes them so happy if they can say that they are number 1. Hey, nobody in the world is more powerful than me, Vladimir Putin, right?
I totally agree.
Yeah, it's something. I mean, did you see this guy's picture, guys, in the photo? He's like, he doesn't have a shirt. He doesn't care.
He's so proud.
Yeah, he's like, I mean, he's a macho man. You know, I have to show you guys some pictures, guys. I am so fascinated by what Vladimir Putin can do in his life, right? I need to show you guys some pictures. 1 second, guys. I think you guys are gonna laugh a little bit, right? I think we need to laugh about this article. Look at this, guys. Okay, when you search Vladimir Putin on YouTube, you get pictures like this. Look at this guy. Like he's a god. Like let me see. Look at this picture. Can anything scare this guy?
He thinks he's so smart.
Yeah, and look, he's like fighting. He's like wrestling. Hold on 1 sec. He has a tiger. He's touching. He's like, this is a tiger that he was in the wilderness, or he went in the forest, right? He's got a gun. He's just like shooting guns all day. Like, you know, guy does not care, man. Like, and he's crying, but I think this is fake, right? Look at this thing. I mean, he's a cowboy, right? He's the ultimate, you know, president. You know, he doesn't care. And there's another example. He's got a gun in this hand, right? He's mad in this hand, or in this picture. Another one of these fishing pictures, right? Let me show you guys. There's a very funny set of pictures I saw before. These right here. So these are pictures in which we say that Vladimir Putin is, in English we say badass. A badass it's a bad word, but it means someone who just doesn't care. He's like a secret agent. He's a Superman, right? Look at this guy. He's got guns. You know, he's like James Bond. You know, another picture. It's like shooting stuff. I mean, no other president has this image. You know, people made fun of him with a nuclear explosion behind him. You know, I mean, it's so funny. Like he's swimming in the birthday cake. I mean, you know, people made funny jokes here, but it's crazy. Like he has so much. He does judo. He fights judo, right? He kills like tigers. He has guns. I mean, very, very interesting guy. He has an image. I think he is definitely liking the fact that this gives him bragging rights. You know, he's going to use these bragging rights, I think. Yeah. Salvador, what are your thoughts? Do you think he's a badass? Do you think he's deserves to be number one?
Yes.
He looks like an actor than president.
I know, right? Looks like an actor. Just like Hollywood, right? All of a sudden. Salvador, what do you agree? Is this guy is an actor, president, not really a president? I mean,
she wants to look powerful or something like that. Just remind me a picture of ex-President Bush on his ranch in Texas. He was doing something similar. Carry a tree and doing that kind of stuff. But to be honest, that is part of the show.
Yeah, it's crazy, guys. You know, all these different things that happen. Very interesting situation, I think. But, you know, that's the future, I guess. The future is going to be about politics will, I think, always be a part of the future, unfortunately. And we will be listening to more and more leaders, their bragging rights, and people competing with each other. I'm number one, you're number two, he's number three, I'm number seven. You know, I don't know why we care that much about these things. Any questions, guys, about the article, about things we've seen, or questions you guys have? So just quickly, guys, to review, actually, before you guys ask any questions, when we talk about the future, there are those three constructions, right? The will construction, the going to construction, and the present continuous. So the will is as simple as a subject plus a will plus a verb, right? Vladimir Putin will continue to fight bears and tigers until he is very old, right? Maybe, I don't know. I'm just making a funny example here, right? Present continuous, or I'm sorry, going to. Barack Obama is going to cry when he hears this news that Vladimir Putin has beat him, right? I don't know. I'm just making up a funny example, right? And present continuous, right? What can I say? I can use any verb in the ing, right? So I can say Vladimir Putin is bragging. You know, is bragging about his experiences at every opportunity he gets. You know, he's having dinner with his family. Guys, guess who's number one? Me. You know, I mean, it's I think that's funny. I would love to see what Vladimir Putin is thinking about this article. He might not even care. I don't think he cares. I think he's the kind of guy who knows he's a Superman, so he doesn't care what other people think. You know, he has that image. So those are the three constructions, guys. Any questions about the article or about the conversation, guys?
No.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Maud. Absolutely. Yeah.
I saw the word lame duck, and I don't know the meaning.
Was it in the article?
Yes.
Lent back?
I'm not sure. Lame duck.
One sec. Let me look this up. Could you tell me where that was in the article? Unfortunately, Maud, I can't find it now. Oh, lame duck. A lame duck. I'm sorry. Mr. Obama is more of a lame duck. Okay. Great question, right? So when we say lame duck in English, right, especially in American politics, lame duck means a president who has no reason to work hard. Because in the United States, you can only become president 2 times, right? So Obama was reelected in 2009, so he is in his second and final term, right? As long as he doesn't do anything crazy, he can finish his second term, no problems, right? People will write about him. People will love him. People will make him into a celebrity for the rest of his life, right? So he's a lame duck. He doesn't need to work. He can just sit and do whatever he needs to do to just pass his time, right? Other presidents, their first term, they are working really hard because they want to get elected that second term. But as soon as you get elected that second time, who cares? You did it 2 times, 8 years. Your name, no one will ever forget your name, right? So, yeah. So I'm sorry, guys. I was talking to my friend. So that's what lame duck means, right? Any other questions, guys?
No.
Did you guys like the class?
Yes,
You did,
absolutely.
Heidi? No, all right, Heidi. Thank you so much. Salvador, was it an interesting topic, or was it a little bit less interesting?
No, it was an interesting article.
Awesome,
A
guys.
funny article.
A funny article, right? I want to see the list of all 100. I want to see who the big list is of everybody, the most 100 people. Maybe one of us will be on that list one day, guys. One of us 5. Yeah, maybe. Who knows, right? We have to just wait and see. All right, guys. Well, it was a pleasure, guys. Thank you so much. I have classes again tomorrow and every day now.
Hi, Vladimir. I am Mariela. Sorry, I
Oh,
am.
yeah.
I was to wait to finish this class because I have problems with my connection to Hangout.
Sure.
I cannot see the chat room.
Were you able to connect to the class earlier than a little while ago? Did you try connecting before, Mariela?
During the day, I want to try in my office in the computer, and right now I am in my house with an iPad tablet. That is a new product for me, so I have double problems because I don't know to use these apps in first, and in the other hand, I have problems because I enter, I think, across of the handouts, not for Kalingo, and I think that this is the reason because I cannot to see the chat room. What is that I am doing bad?
Unfortunately, Marielle, I have no idea. I have never used the iPad Hangouts, so I would suggest, if it's possible, to just sign on through a computer. That's the only way I've been able to teach classes myself. I haven't heard anybody mention the iPad way of doing the Colingo Hangouts, so I don't know. You might want to contact the technical support people at the Colingo company. I think there should be something on the website. If you go to colingo.com, there should be maybe a help button or something about technical questions. I think they'll be able to help you much more because unfortunately I have no idea when it comes to the iPad, unfortunately. Yeah.
It's a great idea.
I
go to contact the support.
Absolutely. And
technical facts.
Okay. Maud, one of the people in our class, is actually saying that you cannot use the chat box with an iPad, Mariella. So the chat box is not possible, according to Maud, but maybe you can still join the Hangouts. I'm not sure how, though. I haven't done it myself, unfortunately.
It's very necessary to see the chat room for reading the lessons or something, or I can to only conversate with you, or I don't know.
I mean, it's not necessary. It's not as necessary to have the chat box as the video. Of course, the video is the conversation. That's where everything is happening. But the chat box is important if I'm writing something down. Sometimes I write down examples, right? What we can do is sometimes I can also screen share. If I screen share, then you can see the chat box on your screen. That's an alternative. But it's a little bit better to have both because then you don't have to worry about missing something. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, so I think they'll help you out. I think, Marielle, if you go to support@colingo.com, I think that's the address. You should
Yes,
be able to contact
exactly.
them. Yeah. Sorry about that. Couldn't help you more than that, unfortunately.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Absolutely, guys.
Bye.
All right. So, yep. Have a great rest of the day, everyone. I appreciate you coming out, guys, everyone in class. And I'll see you
Thank
guys
you.
soon. Yeah. Thank you so much,
Thank you very
guys.
much.
Thank you
Yeah.
for
Thank
your
you.
time.
Bye.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello.
Hey, Heidi, how's it going?
Fine. How are you?
Good, thanks. I think, Heidi, this is your first time in my class.
Yes. Um, Today I will leave to work later. So I'm lucky to have this chance to attend your class.
Ah, fantastic. Where are you from, Heidi?
I'm from Jordan.
Exercising, lifting weights, and I mean, I'm on vacation. They live here and they were just going crazy. So very surprising for me to see how active people are in this part of the country.
Uh,
Yeah, and I woke up early and I had a busy day, but it was a great day, great weather here, beautiful weather. So
mhm.
yeah, it's a nice day. Heidi, what part of Jordan do you live in? The capital? Do you live in Amman?
No, in Zarqa.
I don't know where that is actually. Is
Zarqa,
it?
the blue city. It
Okay.
means from
Isn't
Azraq,
it
blue.
Azraq? Yeah, Zarqa. Okay. Is it from the? Is it in the south of the country? The east? The
North. It's about 20 kilometers from Amman.
20 kilometers from Amman. Okay, so fairly close though. Fairly close. That's awesome. There's a lot I wish I knew about Jordan. I don't know as much as I should know. I know more about Saudi Arabia and Iraq than I do about Jordan, unfortunately. And Syria, I know very little about Syria also, out of those big countries in that area. But
Mhm. Middle
Jordan,
East.
fantastic. المملكة الهاشمية الأردنية.
Naam. Yes.
Yeah, that's all I know. I know very little Arabic, but it's I know some of the countries. So great, Heidi, welcome. My name's Farhan. I'm 24. I've been teaching on Colingo for about 3 months, and I'm glad to have you in my class. Absolutely.
I'm happy to attend also this class.
Fantastic. How long have you been studying English, Heidi? Seems like you are very fluent already.
I have studied with the Berlitz Center before,
Uh-huh.
and I'm already working with a company that have international customers
Uh-huh.
in the United States and other countries, and I have most of our written or all of our what we write in English, and we hold some meetings with customers also in English.
Uh-huh.
But
Fantastic. So
I gained the accent from Berlitz Center.
that is awesome. Yeah, I've heard good things about Berlitz before. They do a good job, I think. Yeah, so it's awesome. And so, guys, today we're going to be waiting a little bit. Maybe if somebody else joins the class, but the focus is going to be we're going to be looking at the future construction, right? And because we have an interesting topic, we actually have a topic that is. I like this topic because we are going to be using the future tense to discuss two world leaders, Vladimir Putin from Russia and Barack Obama from the United States. They have had a little bit of a rivalry, if you will, within the last few years. They're both very powerful men, and some people are debating who is more powerful, who is #1, the most powerful man in the world, right? I don't know if it actually matters, if that designation actually matters, right? Who cares, you know, who the most powerful man in the world is? But it's an interesting article, so we'll take a look at that. Before that, however, we will focus on the future tense in English, right? How do we talk about the future in English? And there are 3 main constructions. So we use the will construction, we use the going to construction, and we also use, there are a lot of great programs out there, and I think one of the good things about Colingo is you guys bring all those experiences here, and you guys are sharing and learning from each other. So especially when we have the conversation, it really helps to have that experience. So
yeah, I hope.
Yeah, welcome, Heidi. Absolutely. Salvador, how's it going, man? How's life?
Hi. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Everything's normal?
Yeah, everything is normal.
Nothing's crazy, right? That's a good thing.
No, everything is okay.
Sometimes we have crazy days. I had a crazy day yesterday, guys. It was I was at the gym last night at 10:30. Okay, I had no idea that this many people show up at the gym at 10:30. I thought I would go there and I would be the only person there, maybe 1 or 2 other people. The entire place was packed.
Really?
Yeah, and I was so surprised. I'm traveling now, so I'm in California. I don't live in California, but it was so surprising for me that folks here are they don't go to sleep. I mean, it was a Tuesday night, 10:30. I mean, people have work the next day, but no, these people were